What's up, everybody? It's me. I'm back at the race car again. Just doing a little bit of work. Got some kind of exciting news. I am in the process of mocking up the front end, putting everything back where it should be going, hooking everything up, trying to figure out all the wiring, or the hoses and everything like that, making sure I have a place where everything goes. I have my radiator and the front bumper back on. It's just a mock-up. They're not bolted all the way in. I got my hose to my thermostat hooked up to the radiator. I got that hose hooked up going to the water outlet. And then I got like some of my vacuum lines and stuff like that, my fuel rail line hooked up. I got my intake mocked up. I'll put a filter on and have it sitting like right about here. Might even maybe even cut like a little bit off here to kind of shorten it just a little bit. That way it's not sticking out as far as what it is. Let's see what else. I took off the back bumper cover. The reason why I did that is because I have to have a chain coming from the back so that if I need it, they can tow me. And what I'm gonna do is cut a hole in the bumper cover, 2 holes in the bumper cover, probably like right about here and here, have the chain coming out, and just bolt it to the actual bumper itself. It's really dusty and dirty. It's been quite a while, I'm assuming, since that's been off. Probably since it came. And then I'm eventually gonna have it on the front. I'll probably drill a hole right about here and here, and I have a small chain coming from the front as well through the bumper cover, just in case, really. I don't think that I'll need towed anytime soon, but per Trailways rulebook, it says that you have to have a chain on the front and back to be towed, just in case. So I'm going to comply with that. The other thing I have, look down here, I have all of my fuel injectors out. They look pretty beat up. This is one. They just look beat up and old. So I'm going to be replacing my fuel injectors, going with probably a bigger CC anyway. I need to do spark plug wires and new spark plugs in general. I do have spark plugs already. I just need to get a set of wires, and then that's all done. Still need to get the wiring harness for the ECU, just for the motor itself. I have everything else that I need. I just need to get all the wires coming from the motor to the ECU. I'm not sure when I'm actually gonna get that. I've been looking online. I can't find anything online, so it's probably gonna have to be a junkyard thing that I get. Not really looking forward to that, but it is what it is. I can't really do much about it. I was going to try to do like a DIY camber on the front. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to do that. What I wanted to do, what I wanted to do is camber the right front, the passenger side front wheel, camber it out with a negative camber, prevent wheel rolling, going into the corners and stuff like that. But all the DIYs recommended using washers, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, which is fine. I really don't need to. It's not that big of a deal. Otherwise, I mean, I feel like the car's coming along just fine. Like I said, I gotta do the plug wires, and I gotta get new fuel injectors. But other than that, I mean, the car's pretty much ready to rock and roll, which is fantastic. I'm so happy with everything, all the progress that I've made. Like you guys know, I'm doing this pretty much 110% myself. I haven't really had any help other than, my wife and my grandfather helping me put the motor in the cart. But I mean, other than that, I haven't had any help doing this. This has been 100% myself, doing all the work myself. And it's taken quite a while to get to this place, but I mean, I'm finally getting somewhere with it. I did figure out how I'm going to keep the doors shut on both sides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the thickest flat piece of steel I can possibly find, and I'm going to drill a hole through here, all the way through, and then same thing right about here, wherever the holes line up, here all the way through, and then take that piece of steel and just bolt it in here. I'll probably do one like right here as well, somewhere in here, and then on the bottom as well, probably right about here. I'm going to do that on both sides. Paint them red, that way it matches the car, and hopefully that keeps the doors shut while I'm out on the track riding around. If you ask anybody, they'll tell you, I've been saying this pretty much since day one. I have absolutely no plan on being competitive. Whenever I do get the car done and it is race ready, I'm 100% just I have no idea if that was a firework or if that was a freaking cannon. But that was loud. I have no intention of being competitive this year, and probably not going to be competitive for the first few years that I'm actually racing this class. My only goal, my only purpose, once this car is race ready, is to just go out and get seat time. I don't care about winning. The class itself doesn't pay enough to make it worthwhile. It's 100% just going to be to get seat time, to get kind of used to what it's like being out on the track. Otherwise, I'm not really trying to build this car to win. I'm pretty much just building this car as of right now to go out and turn laps. That's all I want to do, is just turn laps in it. Once I can successfully do that and get good at it, then I'll worry about either A, trying to get another motor, another 2.0 motor, building that to be fast, or I might just end up, selling this car, whatever, and buying a new one. Buying probably a Dodge Neon. Those have always been really competitive cars in this class. You can do a lot to them, and they keep up with, all the other cars fairly easily. Most people in this class are running Honda Civics or Acura Integras, which is just a Honda Civic. So, like I said, most people are running those. The Dodge Neons is gonna be more competitive with those cars. I love Volkswagen. I think Volkswagen's easier to work on, in my opinion, than Honda Civics are, than Dodge Neons, Ford Focuses, whatever. I personally like Volkswagen. The only problem is Volkswagen didn't really make their 2.0 motor upgradable. There's not a whole lot you can do to a 2.0 motor to make it faster without adding like a turbo kit or a supercharger or something like that. So unfortunately, I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place with Volkswagen. I have been doing a lot of research, and I'm still going to do a lot of research for whenever that time comes. I'm honestly hoping that I can just, tear a Volkswagen 2.0 motor apart and do the same kind of stuff that like the people with the Honda Civics are doing. There's a guy that is probably the best limited stock driver out at Trailway Speedway. His name is Robbie Carroll. He's a great guy, super nice. His car is the fastest front-wheel drive vehicle I've ever seen on a dirt track, and he's running pretty much he's running a Honda Civic, and I know he puts a lot of time and effort into his motor, and I'm hoping that maybe one day I can compete with him, but I really don't know. It would be super cool to be able to compete with him, but like I said, his car is unbelievably fast. Super cool guy, and it's just one of those things where if I do want to compete with him, I'm gonna have to step up a lot. Hopefully, whenever that time actually does come, hopefully I'll be able to afford it, because it's definitely not going to be cheap. Maybe I can do it with a Volkswagen, maybe I can't. I'm going to look into getting another 2.0 block. Hopefully it's relatively cheap. I don't want to be spending an arm and a leg on a motor. I got this one for free. I traded the 1.8 that was in it, that was in the car already, for the 2.0. The guy that did that, he was super cool. But I'm going to look at getting another motor, and I'm just going to completely tear it apart if I can. Do what I'm hoping that I can do, which is tearing it apart, boring the pistons out, getting larger pistons, getting a bigger crank, a bigger camshaft, bearings, lifters, the whole nine. I was looking online, and some people were saying of getting like a 286 crank, but I'm not 100% certain if that's going to fit the 2.0 or if that's going to be for the 1.8, because whenever you look up stuff for the 2.0, majority of the stuff says that it's for the 1.8. So like I said, there's still a lot of stuff that I need to research and work on, but as of now, it's just getting this car and this motor ready to go. I still need to take my ECU to be reprogrammed, getting the secondary air, getting that deleted, the immobilizer deleted. I'm gonna see if they can reprogram like the rev limiter. I probably want it around 10,000 RPM, 10, 10.5, 11, somewhere around there, just to get the maximum amount of rev that I can get, because I'm going to be wheel spinning a lot going into the corners, which is what happens with these cars. Front wheel drive vehicles and mud don't really mix too well. So I'm going to get that stuff done. I'm also going to, depending on where I take the ECU or the whole car, to get the ECU reprogrammed, I'm going to also see if they can kind of reprogram it to make it more sportier. Hopefully add, like a racing chip of some kind or something dumb like that to kind of give me a little bit more horsepower. I know a lot of people, most of their cars in this class are pushing about 250-ish. So I got a lot of work to do to be able to compete with that. 250 horsepower, that is. I know stock, the 2.0s push about 150. So I see a deer. Too bad it's not hunting season. He's really far out though. So I'm about 100 horsepower shy. But hopefully I can, like I said, make up that 100 horsepower somehow, with doing a little bit of research. They did change the rules for the suspension, which kind of sucks. It has to be a stock suspension, so you can't get aftermarket coilovers. You can't get an aftermarket suspension system, basically. So it has to be bone stock. The struts have to be stock. The coilovers have to be stock. The shocks have to be stock. So that's going to be kind of a challenge to set up the car, make it, handle better in the corners and stuff. I know the track can get pretty ruddy, depending on what's actually racing there. Normally the limited stocks are the last class to race, so we'll see. We'll see what I can do. Like I said, I'm hoping that I can get this car done soon. Not sure when I'm going to be able to get to either a junkyard or, somewhere that has a wiring harness for the motor, but hopefully whenever I do get there, I can get it and get this thing put back together. I'm hoping that once I get the harness, I can plug everything in, put in my ECU, and get the car at least rolling. I have to do a little bit more work on the shifter. It doesn't, one of the bearings inside the shifter itself, or one of the bushings, is kind of messed up, so I have to figure out a way to replace it and get it hooked back up so that I can shift the car in and out of gear. And then, like I said, hopefully I can get everything that I need to get. I am planning a vacation here soon, the end of this month, beginning of next month. Just a small one. Take my kids to the beach for a few days, and hopefully that will be a fun time, and I hope they enjoy it. And then once that's done, then it'll be crunch time. I'll really start getting everything. Plug wires are not too terribly expensive. I can pick up a set of plug wires from AutoZone for like $40 or something like that. If you guys have any suggestions on where to get parts for cheap, where I can get a wiring harness, if you guys have any wiring harnesses laying around for a 2.0, that'd be great. You can send it to me. Just, comment, DM me, whatever, and we can get, we can set it up to where you guys can send it to me. Otherwise, I'm going to start cleaning up. It's starting to get dark out. I got to get home, shower. I got a funeral to go to tomorrow. So, yeah. Again, please like and subscribe. Every little bit helps. I am just starting. This is by far probably the worst channel you'll ever see, but hopefully once I get the car done, the content gets a little bit better. I do want to get my rifle back out, sighted in for hunting season. I got to get my bow out, sight that in for hunting season as well. And yeah, I mean, like I said, please like and subscribe. It helps. If you guys have any suggestions on how to make the car faster, any suggestions on what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, anything, please let me know. And smash that like button. Thank you guys. Have a good day.